What is it about this building that really sold you?
It's the best building I've ever found in terms of construction and details and finishing. It's a very unusual in terms of its construction, and you really see that the interest of the architect and the skills of the architect in creating this building. And also you see the commitment of the owner. Often an architect will say, this is what I would like to see, how I would like to see the building turn out, and the owner chokes when he sees the cost of doing that. In this particular case, he clearly followed through with all of the ideas of the architect. And that's very unusual.
Well, the building was put together, as Sandy said a little bit earlier, in the best possible way. So everything that could possibly be done correctly was done correctly. It's incredibly solidly built. The floors are masonry, all the walls are masonry, not only the exterior walls, but the walls between the units and the walls between rooms within the units, and even the walls around the cupboards are all masonry walls. So this building would take a nuclear bomb to knock down. So the problem, of course, is that over time, not all the maintenance that should have been put into this building has taken place. So over time, it's been allowed to become a little bit more run down than it should be, but it's a gemstone that can be polished. I like brass, and this building's got lots of brass. So I started looking for things that were brass to strip. The original Fredo.
This had about 10 coats of paint on it, 10 heavy coats of paint on it. So stripping it took several hours to get it stripped down. And
why do you go through all the trouble to?
Because it's so beautiful.
Okay.
It's really worth it. It's one of those things that shines after, and it just looks so spectacular. And it's workmanship you'll never see again.
And not every room, every apartment looks the same. Thank God, because nobody could put this country in one place. But I had a 3-bedroom house with an attic and a basement. This is my fruit. I got tomatoes and strawberries, all my herbs, tomatoes, basil, chives.
How often do you sit out here with this view?
Oh, every day at one point or another. Of course, I don't like to annoy the hummingbirds. Actually have a better view of some stuff. Now, there's plants here. See the water tower between the two spires? That's
Right.
Hartley Bridge. That's Hartley Bridge Road.
Have you ever watched storms coming in or anything?
Oh, it's my favorite thing. I come out here and take pictures all the time. Of course, that's the St. Paul right there.
Margo, what do you love about your apartment here?
Well, especially the view and the balconies and being able to be outside so much.
I've spent some time living in New York, and the only place in the world that I've been to that has buildings similar to this is New York City. You know, the grand old apartment buildings that were built in the early part of the 20th century for the greatest families, the most wealthy families in the US and the world, were built to replicate townhouses. So instead of living in a townhouse, they would live in a townhouse in the sky, which is what an apartment building was meant to be at the beginning. The Massee is really the only apartment building that's still like that here in Macon and in all of Georgia, really.
When we came because of the building, but what as extraordinary, and the building was extraordinary, what's also we found extraordinary is the warmth and the hospitality of the people of Macon. And it's their generosity and their assistance that's encouraged us to say, let's look at other opportunities to invest here, and even talking to other investors.